Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're great. Today I want to take a couple minutes and talk about conflict. I know, a lot of people do not like conflict. They spend a lot of energy and effort trying to avoid it. And then there are those other people who maybe everywhere they go it seems like they're in conflict. They create it or they're always involved somehow. So today I just want to chat about when conflict is good, when it's helpful, when it's useful, and then the times when it's not good and not helpful. So let's do it. I want to start by sharing just kind of a base of understanding. Here's the thing. Conflict, whether positive or negative, it's always a signal. It's a sign to us. It's saying, hey, something's not right here. Something's going on below the surface that needs some attention. For example, if we think about it in the physical, natural world, sometimes it's easier. So if I break a bone and I'm in pain, that's actually a good thing because the pain is sending me the message, hey, something is not right here. I need your attention, right? Same thing is true emotionally. When we're having conflict, when things are bubbling up in us in relationships or in certain dynamics, it's sending us a message, hey, something needs your attention here. It's not right. So that's how conflict is actually a good thing. Now, what we want to do is navigate when is conflict helpful in our relationships and when isn't it. So to start, I want to share just my top 3 reasons why conflict should not be something we fear. Why conflict is actually a positive sign. And here's the deal. I didn't always think this. My husband and I, when we were dating, we actually didn't have any conflict for the first 9 months of our relationship. And here's why. Conflict is actually a sign that you feel safe enough in a relationship to go there. You feel safe enough to be undone. You feel confident your connection can weather a storm. You can kind of just be. Now, of course, we're going to talk later about taking these things to the extreme, but just think about it. In my relationship with my husband, when we were dating, in those first months, I loved the connection we had so much that I didn't even think about the things that were bothering me or that were kind of coming up because I didn't want to risk that sweet connection. In a way, I didn't feel safe enough to be fully vulnerable with however I was feeling because I wasn't sure where our connection and foundation was in those moments. So that's my first reason why conflict is a good sign. It actually means you feel safe enough to go there with that person. So think about it. Take a second and think about even your closest friendships, your closest family members. Is there any conflict? If there's not, maybe it's because you don't honestly feel like your relationship could weather whatever you bring to the table, whatever disagreements, big or small, that come up. Think about that. The second reason I believe conflict is a good thing is because it allows honesty. You guys, we want real, authentic, meaningful relationships. And the only way to have them is honesty. It has to be there. Now, that doesn't mean everything my friends or husbands say to me is going to feel good. A lot of times it's stuff I don't want to hear because it's ways maybe I hurt them or I dropped the ball. That does not feel good. Honesty is powerful, right? But it's necessary to actually connect, to be able to be who I want to be in a relationship and to be able to get my needs met from that person in a relationship. We have to be able to be honest. So that's the second reason that conflict can be a really positive thing because it allows honesty. The third reason that conflict is a really good thing is because it actually gets to the root issue, or I should say, done in a healthy way. It should get to the root issue, allow you to problem solve, manage the situation, and then move forward. So it's actually looking kind of like under the surface. So it's setting the bone in place in the example of if your bone was broken and you're feeling pain, right? So emotionally, it's the same thing. It's us looking under the surface and saying, what is going on here? What isn't working? I value this relationship enough that I want to look under here, figure out what isn't working, problem solve with you, and then move forward. So that's it. Those are my 3 top reasons why conflict is a good thing. And for any of you that don't like conflict, which I totally get it, or maybe it feels really scary to go there in relationships, just take a minute and think about those 3 things. Do you feel safe enough in a relationship? Do you allow for complete honesty in the relationship? Are you getting to the root issue and problem solving as a team so that you can move forward? Okay, now, if your relationship, friendship, or significant other, or family members, coworkers, whatever they are, if your significant relationships are characterized by conflict, that's a whole other story. That probably means you haven't gotten to the root issue, or maybe this isn't the right time, season, or person to be in close relationship with. Now, I know that sounds really harsh, but it doesn't have to be. Seasons of life are different. Sometimes we're really close to some friends. Sometimes we need to take a step back. So maybe just ask yourself, what are the relationships in my life that are characterized by conflict? What's going on there? Take a minute and think through that. Okay, I want to address my favorite part of all this really quickly before we get to our action steps today. So I want you to think through your relationship with God in this lens. Do you feel like there's any conflict in your relationship with God? Do you feel like you're completely honest? Do you feel safe enough to lay it all out there, to be completely undone? Do you feel like you're getting to the root issues? Because here's the thing, just like our relationships with our spouses, significant others, or friends, our relationship with God is a real relationship. There's talking and listening, there's ups and downs, there's bumps in the road. And conflict is a really necessary part of our relationship with God because it means we're actually being honest and we feel safe enough to go there. So I want you to really take a couple seconds and think through that also. And be encouraged. God can handle your thoughts and your feelings so you can lay it all on the line, I promise. Okay, as promised, quick action steps. Today, right now, think through your significant relationships. Whether that's a spouse, friends, family, coworker, what are your main relationships? Include God. Think about those relationships and ask yourself, number one, do I feel safe enough to have conflict in these relationships? Number two, are any of these relationships characterized by conflict? And then number three, what do I need to do today to shift this situation? Ask yourself, ask God, He'll help you, and you'll come to a conclusion. Because here's the thing, in some relationships, in some seasons, it might mean you being honest enough to really open up and say, hey, this thing has been going on for a long time. It's really hurting me. Can we talk about it? And you risking being vulnerable and risking that connection to face what isn't working below the surface. Or it might mean you pulling back from a relationship that's characterized by conflict because you're realizing it's really not the best time or relationship for you. It's not easy, but it's totally worth it. Okay, that's all I have for today. Please let me know if this is helpful. If you have any questions or comments, I'll respond to them all below. And please like, share, subscribe. That would be super helpful. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.